See, he always finds a way. Even before the intro, he sets up the destruction of the intro.
Did I fuck it up?
Of course you did, because I'm laughing. I can't.
Well, this time I got it out before the camera.
The problem is, it's a great take, and it needs to be on the air. It's gold, and he's wasting it. It's like, anyway, we're gonna have a regurgitate.
I'm better off the air.
No, that's the problem.
I always say that just because no matter what happens on air, I can say,
we're going to have like another camera doing the outtakes, so one day we put it in black.
It's always rolling up there.
Yeah, it's always rolling. This is the off-camera shit you never saw, but you wish you had. Anyway, that is the redoubtable one himself, Tom Izzo. Highly questionable, not doing that show. Welcome to IDD. For those of you who know, I don't disagree here on a Marijuana Monday, boys and girls. Game 5 of the finals is playing as we speak. We will be updating you throughout the evening.
Margie Monday?
Marijuana. Marijuana. Or to quote the good next president, Spicoli, relax, I can fix it. In event, IDD.
My
for
mistake,
those who know,
there's 5 teams below the Mets. Only 5.
I don't disagree. Okay, segment 1, all things underachieving baseball teams, boys and girls. Whew. I can't imagine where we're going to go first.
Mets. This is how bad it is.
Anyway, I'm going to give him the floor because it started like 2 minutes before we went on tape, so we're going to let him go.
Here's the fucked up thing about the Mets, and the pathetic thing about my life, is that I have been in a rut since September 2022. And that's about the time that the beautiful, amazing Miracle Mets, who were just bulldozing the competition, started to just veer off the cliff. September, no good. They got swept by the Cubs at home, and the Cubs were one of the worst teams in the league. Just blew it to Atlanta in the biggest series of the year.
You did see it coming.
Oh, my God.
He was right about that. I never gave him enough credit for that.
No, it's not about having – I'm a Mets fan. We always – even if
but
it's not going to happen,
you were dead on
we think
spot
that's
on.
going to
Because basically it went the way you said it was going to go.
Well, because it always feels to end in heartbreak, at least as long as I've been alive with the Mets.
Yeah.
But, downhill in September, then they lost 2 out of 3 in the wild card round to the Padres.
Yeah.
At home.
And the best pitcher,
right, Scherzer,
the guy you thought would show up, was he was the one who shit the bed.
Scherzer shit the bed. He shit the bed in September against the Braves.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just disappointment.
Yeah.
Then they go into the offseason, they make some acquisitions. Mm-hmm. Cohen spends a ton of money. You start feeling good.
Yeah.
World Baseball Classic hits. Mm-hmm. Diaz blows out his knee celebrating.
Oh, God.
And it just seems like ever since
that moment,
this season was destined to be a train wreck on top of a dumpster's fire with a dick in the ear.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is. Okay? That's what the season feels like.
Wait, just for clarification. It was a dumpster fire?
A train wreck.
A train wreck on top of a dumpster fire?
On top of a dumpster fire with a dick in the ear.
Did you get that, America? All right.
That's what this season feels like.
That's the New York Mets fans' version of a clusterfuck.
The Mets won 5 in a row. Okay? Swept it. They took 2 out of 3 from Tampa, swept the Guardians.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, here come the Mets.
Yeah.
Okay?
And then.
Only then.
Oh, my God, he lost the ball.
They go to Atlanta, swept by Atlanta.
And we're ahead in all 3 games by at least 3 runs.
4-1 in the first game.
It was like 3 kicks to the balls in a row.
No.
It was like 3 kicks to the nuts.
3 swift kicks.
To the nuts?
Yes, then an uppercut to the chin.
Because you weren't already bleeding internally from the second kick to the balls, but whatever.
The uppercut brings you back up, kick you in the nuts again, and they pile drive you. That's what it was. Okay, because, man, the third one was so bad.
And then when you're on the ground, the people's elbow comes in.
Well, no, so it's bad because the first 2 games, they're leading 4-1, and they lose. The last game, they scored 10 fucking runs and lost 13-10 and had a 3-run lead multiple times in the fucking game.
Yeah, that's the...
Then they go to Pittsburgh and get destroyed 14-7. Mm-hmm. Really, it was 14-2. Because they scored 5 in the top of the 9th, and that's a joke.
Yeah, that's awful.
That's a joke. 14-2 going into the top of the 9th.
Yep.
Okay, then they have a closed-door meeting, and Buck Showalter summons the gods. The baseball gods come down, and the Mets win 1 game. And then on Sunday, muster 3 hits, score 1 run, and lose 2-1 to finish off a 1-5 road trip to Atlanta and Pittsburgh. Wow.
Who at least were in first place. I think it would have been worse if it had been Colorado and somebody else.
They'd already lost 2 out of 3 to Colorado, already lost 2 out of 3 to the Cubs, or did they get swept by the Cubs?
I thought they won one.
Already lost 2 out of 3 to the Nats.
They win one?
They won 1, yeah.
I thought they won one.
But look, the Mets have 5 teams under them. The Cubs, the Cardinals, the Nats, and the Rockies. They have recently lost 2 out of 3 to 4 out of 5 of those teams. And St. Louis, they're playing this week, so they got their chance now.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that they're going into the freaking Subway Series with the Yankees.
Yeah, series.
Pete Alonso's down.
Should have meant a lot. This series should have been a big series.
It should have been 2 first place teams
should have
playing.
been. You're right.
With two premier home run sluggers.
I mean, worst case scenario, they're one's in second because the Yankees division is fucking loaded.
Well, yeah, because the Rays.
The Rays. But I'm saying it should have been to his point 2 playoff teams, 2 contenders, and now it looks like
the Mets should have been duking it out with the Braves. The Mets are fucking 10 games out.
Yeah.
10 games out with that fucking payroll. It's embarrassing.
And this is where
his whole thing
about Showalter really has resonance because he's been saying this for a while now. And when you the thing is, you can't get around the talent and the salary. When you see that, you're like, how? And look, one guy is one guy, okay. And I get the closer's an important role, but this team should be better than this, by far. Without a closer, they still have more than enough talent everywhere else to compensate for that and be competitive. This is bad.
And here's the thing. Here's a big part of the reason they're there, is because their biggest pieces have not shown up. Scherzer and Verlander. They're not pitching like $43 million guys.
They're not.
They're pitching like, veterans on an aging contract.
$15 million.
Right. And that just, they're not going to win if that happens. They're also not hitting in big situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're batting average.
Low averages.
I mean, as a team, it's not. It's in the lower. I think it's 18th or 19th.
Probably.
It's not good for a team with that kind of talent. You'd think they'd be top 10, and which I think you said that last time.
Well, I think they should be top 5. They were last year in terms of like runs scored and things like that.
Yep.
They struggled with home runs last year. This year, they're hitting more. But this is where Showalter comes into play. And, I mean, I do have to call out, Showalter won Manager of the Year last year.
Yeah, he did.
Or was up there for it.
He was in the...
He
got votes. Didn't he get votes?
I thought he won it for one of the distributions. Or publications. But whatever.
Anyway.
I mean, Showalter had a great year last year.
He did.
But he has had an equally bad year this year.
Seems like every button has been the wrong one.
Every button he pushes is a blow-up button. It's supposed to be a fix, and as soon as he hits it, poof.
It's been Bill Belichickian, dare I say, since Brady left. Since Brady left, it's been Bill Belichickian.
And here's my
almost
thing.
Every move has been wrong.
And here's my thing, okay? If it's the GM telling him to make these calls, I still put it on him because he's got enough clout to say, "Go fuck yourself."
Yes,
fire me.
This is what
you know what I'm saying.
I still can't wrap my head around this because again, his reputation is he's not a dude that does things like
he's
this.
not a yes man.
He's not, and that's why it doesn't make any sense to me because he's one of the last people I expect to do this.
Yeah, but my dad told me he was recently asked a question. Why'd you put this guy in? Oh, look at that fucking fake ass.
I hate him so much.
Oh my God.
I fucking hate him.
Kyle
Lowry, America's doormat.
Anyway, my dad said that a reporter asked him, "Why'd you make that decision in the lineup?" And he said, "Ask the analytics guys." And to me, that is chicken shit.
That's chicken shit.
You know what I'm saying?
That's Bush League.
That is chicken shit.
Chicken shit.
You either tell the GM what you're going to do.
First of all,
tell him you're not going to go
if the GM is managing the team, he shouldn't be the GM. He should be the manager. The GM should not be making manager moves. The manager should not be making GM moves. Know your role.
But shit has changed.
Clearly.
And on a lot of these teams,
if he said that in front of a camera,
that's what my dad said he heard. And I told you that he called players in and said, "Hey, a lot of different decisions go into
that was the other
putting
one.
you." That one's not quite as bad as what my dad said he said.
Yeah.
But it's still on that line of like, No, if you're going to explain something, either have an explanation
Yeah.
or stand up to the person telling you to make it and make your own.
You don't point the finger in that
No.
direction and go, you go settle it with him.
Right. Either
That's not-
understand the decision or make a different decision.
It's not how a good manager, operates or is supposed to operate. So, look, I don't understand why Buck Showalter, of all people, would agree to this form of. Doesn't make any sense to me. He knows it doesn't work.
But
He knows it doesn't work.
and I agree. And here's another thing. It's not just the setting of the lineups that's bad. So yesterday, Mark Vientos, I talk about him all the time. Prospect hit 13 bombs his first month in the minors.
Yeah.
Look, I don't expect him to be the next Mark McGwire. Okay.
No, but still.
However, we've struggled to hit home runs. We've struggled with extra base hits. You've got a guy with pop. Okay. You call him up.
You can play in
and
two
you're
ways.
You're playing
Catcher or DH. You can do. You
Well,
can
no,
use him too.
he's not the catcher.
Who is he?
He's a third baseman, first
Oh.
baseman.
He's a
He's an
utility
infielder.
guy.
Well, he's really a third baseman, but you got Brett Beatty there. But this guy could be DHing every day.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm saying
you got Daniel Vogel back in there hitting 200 and doing nothing. Why not give the rookie a fucking shot? You know?
Yeah. No.
So-
I'm with you. I don't.
Yesterday, Mets are down 2-1. Going into the ninth, top of the ninth, Vientos is coming up. The
Yep.
power hitter
Yep.
from the minors, who can't get any at-bats, can't get in a rhythm. He pinch hits for him. Pinch hits for him with a utility infielder that's got like 4 career home runs. That they just called up from the minors because he got sent down because he can't hit. Are you listening?
I am listening to you. Keep going. Keep
You
going.
didn't hear a word I said.
He got called down to the minors because he can't hit. That's the last thing you said.
Well, that's easy.
You're implying I'm not listening.
You're not.
Go on.
I'm not trying to talk to myself. I'm trying to talk to you.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I already said what I said. I said he pinch hit for Mark Vientos with a soft-hitting utility infielder for what? Lefty-righty? That's his move. Whatever's happening with the GM telling him how to set the lineup,
I'm saying-
that was a Buck Showalter move, and that's on him, and that move sucked. And anybody that knows anything about baseball would not fucking make that move. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Well, what's wrong is he's looking over his shoulder.
That is no. If the people over his shoulder wanted him to make that decision,
No.
they
What I'm
all need to
saying
get
is
the
he's
fuck
not.
out.
He's not thinking straight because his first thought is, "What would they do?" Not what should I do.
You think Buck has turned into that?
If what your dad is saying is true and what you said last week, what am I left to deduce here?
That he's just lost it.
I'm saying he's
that's
he's
my thing.
lost
It's like
it
he might
because
have just lost
he
it.
knows in the back of his mind this is the wrong way to do it. When you know in your heart something's wrong, I don't care how much you try and fake it to make it. You can't do it. It's not who he is.
But wouldn't you just stop doing it? Wouldn't you just say no? These are the in game. Who's going to come down
I
there?
don't know.
Who's going to come down there and make him pinch hit somebody for somebody? Like, you know what I'm saying? If I was managing, right, and my manager sent a fucking note down that said, hey, in the 8th inning, you better pinch hit this fuck guy. Or before the game, they said, hey, if it's a lefty-righty matchup, pinch hit for Vientos anytime. Like, if a righty's coming up and we have a lefty on the bench, I want to see a lefty. I'd say, fuck no. That's not the right call. Like, could you get fired for that?
I'm just saying, I'm not condoning this.
Maybe
I'm
you
just
could,
saying
I don't
that
know.
his this is all backwards to him. And I think it's fucking up everything he does.
You know what? Maybe I'm full of shit. Because if my manager told me to do something at work, I usually just do it.
Usually.
Even if I think it's a wrong way.
Wrong way,
I
you
mean,
do
I
it.
might speak up, but I still probably do it.
Probably still do it because then you say, look, you told me
Yeah,
to do this.
exactly.
Don't blame me for it.
Yeah, maybe
mean,
I'm
I
full
knew
of
it was
shit.
wrong.
I'm full of shit.
I'm just saying that, look, I think, and again, I don't know this. I'm just going from my own personal experience. If I knew something was wrong or was the wrong way to do it, and I was doing it anyway, I can't do it.
You think it would fuck up
It would
your whole head?
It would fuck up my whole equilibrium. Because I
So
know
none of your
because
decisions would be right?
I keep coming back to this whole fucking thing is wrong. This whole fucking process is wrong. Yeah. You don't build a house from the roof down. That's what they're fucking trying to do. You don't do it. It doesn't work. It never fucking works. And I don't care how good it looks on paper. It doesn't fucking work. So my thing is, maybe he hung around because he thought, look, they'll figure out this is bad and they'll switch it. I don't know. But this team is grossly underachieving at this point.
Yeah.
And
now Pete's gone for a month.
Pete, you just lost your best hitter.
He had 22 bombs.
Yeah, I think he was leading the league in all of it.
The whole majors.
Yeah. So that's a blow they couldn't have. The last thing they needed was this to happen. I mean, shit.
And the fucking Braves hit him with a pitch in the wrist. That just makes it worse. I don't think the Braves were trying to hit him.
Yeah.
But it still pisses me off, and we never threw at any of their guys.
No. Well, probably because you knew it wasn't on purpose.
I know, but it's like, okay, it wasn't on purpose. Our guy's down for a fucking month.
But the thing is,
thanks for the accident.
When things are going
thanks
bad.
For accidentally knocking our star out, our only guy worth a fuck. Thanks for knocking him out for 3 to 4 weeks with a fucking bone bruise in the wrist. And you know when he comes back, he's not going to have the same pop.
Probably not.
Not for the first month.
Not for the first month, yeah.
So 2 months gone.
Look.
And it's like, it was an accident. I don't know.
No, when things are going bad, they snowball. And then weird shit starts happening like that. Because that's what happens when things go bad. When it rains, it pours. Yeah. When it rains, it fucking pours. When everything can go, listen, I've watched teams happen. Listen, I've seen it. Okay? So once it just all of a sudden starts to snowball, and then it's like a fucking runaway train. You can't stop it.
I just wish.
And you're just like, at that point, you throw your hands up like, figures, that's the way the fucking year's gone.
Because I just wish this was a situation where it didn't have to get all the way out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, the weird thing is, my hope is that they can somehow find their way out of this.
The weird thing is,
get a wild
there's
card.
Still 96 games to go.
They're only 3 games out of the last.
They're
wild
not.
card.
I'm saying, as bad as it is, they're not out of it. They're in striking distance.
That's
so.
Yeah.
And again, look at.
I mean, I talk about this team like it is the biggest piece of shit ever. They've won 31 games.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that.
Like the most wins is 40.
In the NL, yeah. I mean,
so it's. I mean, yes, I'm trashing them because
they're underachieving.
Well, because they have the highest payroll of all time.
Yeah, they're just not. They're underperforming
of all time.
They're all. The thing is, this is the one thing about the manager. Look, they're all underperforming, all across the fucking board. I mean, we're blaming the manager for obvious reasons, but at some point the players got to do something. Like there's enough veteran leadership in that locker room to say, you know what, fuck this.
Well, no,
and they should be. I'm just saying,
but the two main, I already said the 2 main players, Verlander, Scherzer,
are not performing.
There's no coaching involved with those two.
Yeah, that's not on
that's
Showalter.
Them not being who they were.
Exactly, that's not on him that they're not performing. That's not. They know their roles. They're 1-2. So nothing's changing with them. So I mean,
Joel.
Oh.
Joel said Jalen Rose is a garbage commentator and so one-sided. He sucks.
Who's he so? Oh, yeah, but I was probably talking about Miami. Because they're ahead. You tend to talk more about the team that's ahead, regardless of who you're. If you're impartial.
Not always. Not always.
If you're Stephen A. Smith, you don't. The other night, Stephen A. Smith was trashing the Miami backcourt for going 0 for the century.
2 points.
2 fucking. The only thing he didn't do was drop an F-bomb. So,
dude, but one before.
And now he's just a shitty player, and he made 2 All-Star teams.
Jalen Rose is a good player.
He was a good player. This guy's a moron.
Before we move.
This just in, Joel's a moron.
Basketball. The Mets now heading to the Subway Series against the.
Are
Yanks.
they hosting it? Or is it in the Bronx?
That's a good question.
Because the Yankees are coming up to Boston.
I think it's in Queens.
Is it in Queens?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they play 2 against the Yankees.
So it's a short series.
Because they go 2-2. They play 2 at Yankee probably in a month or something.
Okay. So then the Yankees have a day off before they come into Boston because that means Thursday will be off and then the
Mets
Friday.
and Yankees are both off Monday and Thursday.
Gotcha.
Unless the Yankees have some kind of makeup game that day, but I doubt it.
So it's a short series. I thought it was
short series. It always is. They do 2 in Queens and 2 in the Bronx. It's going to be weak because Judge is not there for the Yankees. Alonso.
But to me, it's even because you're missing your guy.
Yeah.
So to me, you got to go out and win. The Yankees are still playing well.
Yankees are better than the Mets. by a long shot.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Well,
The Mets can beat them, but
course they can. They have
will
a
their
talent to beat
starting
them.
pitcher go more than 4 innings? That's what it hinges on. You've got to fucking pitch, and
Yeah.
none of their starters have been worth a damn.
yep. No, I agree.
Tyler McGill has been shambles. Scherzer's been mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a couple good starts, couple bad.
Yeah. I mean,
Verlander,
they have grossly under.
Verlander's got a high 4 ERA.
Yeah, he's almost as bad as what's his nuts there for the Red Sox. He's got a 5.2. This guy blows the Pope. He has no business being
Sale?
there. No, Sale's actually won. Sale won 5 in a row. Sale was pitching great when he got hurt. That's what sucks about that. He was actually looking good.
Who's the bad Boston pitcher?
The kid it starts with a K. It's Kutzmuir or something. He sucks. This guy's awful. Like he somehow has a win. I think it was a game where the Red Sox hit 11 runs.
Yeah.
Because he got out of there with a like 5-5 or 6-5, whatever it was. The guy has an ERA of north of 5. His WHIP is like 1. His fucking opponents are batting like
His whip's
270.
got to be 1.8.
It's 101.
That's good.
It's 101. Well, I'm saying he has strikeout. It's not the strikeouts. He's got a lot of hits.
Yeah.
He's allowing over a hit an inning. In the 30, he's pitched 38 innings. He's given up 39 hits. That's not good. Okay, no. Okay,
No, because
so-
his factor walks in there
yeah.
and his whip is
Well,
his
no,
whip is
his
over 1.
strikeout to the thing is, this is a weird thing. He's the 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. It's the hits. He gives
3 to
up a
1?
lot. 3-to-1. He had struck out 38. He had walked 12. That's 3-to-1. Because 36-12 would have been 3-to-1. It's over 3-to-1. The bottom line is, but when he gives up hits, fucking laser
Pat
show.
Cloak.
Fucking laser show. Laser
Well,
show.
come watch Max Scherzer in the 6th inning. You'll see a laser show. Seriously, I mean, it give you 5
Don't
strong-
forget, fans, to be in your seats for the 6th inning laser show.
Dude, seriously. I mean, Scherzer, the problem is Scherzer's got to give it everything he's got to get through 4 or 5.
To warm you up for the 7th inning stretch, there is the 6th inning laser show.
Max Scherzer
Brought
on the
to you
mound.
by-
Max Scherzer.
Brought to you by that wannabe ace, Max Scherzer. That once upon a time in tights. Once upon a time.
$43 million later, lasers.
Lasers everywhere.
Oh, that would be good.
Anywhere in the outfield, you're not safe.
6th inning, 7th
Sixth
inning
the
laser
6th inning
show.
laser show, the 7th inning stretch. This would be called the 7th inning recovery.
Oh,
from the
yeah,
6th
we
inning.
love going to City Field.
The
The 6th
7th
inning laser shows
Sixth
like
inning-
none other. You watch the Yankee game tomorrow. I don't know who the fuck's pitching.
You're gonna
Oh,
find-
Scherzer's pitching,
We almost have to do an IDD
Scherzer's
tomorrow night.
pitching.
Because I want to be here in the 6th inning.
and they're on TBS.
We should do a show tomorrow night and have the game on. Just to see Tom fall out of the
Oh,
chair in the 6th inning.
6th inning laser.
Fucking laser shot.
And so the Yankees are throwing Severino,
Oh my God.
who's got a 5.75 ERA.
Double laser shot.
Scherzer, guess what Scherzer's ERA is?
4.7.
3.7.
That's still fucking better than anybody in the Red Sox. Chris Sale has
That's
won.
actually probably our best ERA.
Chris
on the team.
Sale has won 6 in a row, and his ERA is 5. Because the first 3 was so
Scherzer's
bad.
5-2 with the 3.7, and I'm killing him.
Yeah, he. What's his name is 6-2. Fucking Sale was 6-2. He's going for ridiculous. And
Subway Series still as intriguing a ticket as there is in town. You sure about that?
still as intriguing a ticket. Still, this is a guy who hated Duke and now he's blasting Jalen Rose. He's such a you're such a fucking hypocrite, Joel. You know Duke smacked the Fab Five around. I imagine you were rooting for them that
He
night.
said, yes, I am a hater.
Fucking unbelievable.
He's probably drunk.
He's drunk, all right. Anyway,
To the Mets.
the Mets blow.
It was funny. On Saturday, I recorded one of my positive Mets thoughts of the day.
You did?
And
You
I was
didn't
like-
tell me.
I was like, I'm gonna try to do 2 weeks of these, and maybe the Mets will be 10 games under, or maybe they'll have dug themselves out of this hole. And then Sunday comes and they lost, and I didn't do it again. And just it's why do I give a shit?
Because of your team.
I know, but after a while, you're just like, they're all rich, $400 million payroll. There's a billionaire running them. It's like, it's a big fucking show, and I'm sitting here getting mad and getting sad when these motherfuckers lose. Who gives a shit? That's how I feel about the Mets. And I really want to stop giving a shit.
That's how bad they are right now. He wants to stop caring. I never thought I'd hear him say that.
I'm sick of it.
If that, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't give you an inkling as to how much this team is underachieving right there, I just don't want to give a shit.
I know I sound like a negative ham sandwich motherfucker.
I just don't want to care anymore.
I just don't want to give a shit. Like, it's pathetic. I mean, why do I give a fuck?
Because you're a passionate sports fan. You're the norm.
I want to watch them win.
Know,
I want to see these people win.
You know you're the norm in this country, right? You're not nuts.
Maybe.
70,000 nut jobs every Sunday.
Maybe.
And during football season. Look at March Madness. Look at how many pool. Every year, that fucking NC2A pool, it's like ESPN, 20 million just on that alone. People for 20 fucking million just on that one.
I know, but I'm saying
it's
people.
We're all like this.
Some people get like this because they put money on the line. I got nothing on the line. You know, and my whole fucking wardrobe is Mets gear. And it's a pain in the ass when they just find these ridiculous ways to lose that are so embarrassing.
I can't understand. Do you have a Giants jersey? New York Football Giants? You should
I
have
have
one.
an Eli jersey.
You should have like a LT or an Eli or a guy, or what's his name? The defensive lineman, Strahan. Yeah, somebody like that. That'd be awesome, dude.
No,
he's an all-time great.
I used to have a Humanura jersey.
Humanura qualifies.
Eli jersey.
They all got rings.
I had a Pierre Paul
jersey.
The
guy's got to have a championship.
I had a Pierre Paul jersey.
Yeah.
All mine have rings.
There you go. So pick one every Sunday, like all those other nut jobs do. Now that I got Tom Brady in the background, I got Tom Brady and Troy Brown to choose from every Sunday.
I brought my shitty Eli jersey over here.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
I think I brought it when they were in the playoffs.
Anyway, the Red Sox are in the 10th inning against the shitbag Rockies.
Who took 2 out of 3 for the Mets.
Him. But they're in Fenway now, and the Red Sox pitching staff actually did what they were supposed to do, but then the bats decided to take the night off.
Exactly.
So they were down 1-0. They tied it. They took the lead, but then the pitching staff said, wait a minute, you're not going to blow this. We're going to do it. And they fucking gave up the tying run. And the Red Sox went, no. We're going to do it. They go out down 1-2-3 in the 9th. So now we're in extra innings. We're going to go back.
Runs are going to be scored now because you start with the ghost runner.
Yeah, the ghost runner. So anyway, the Rockies, yeah, because you have the guy on second base already before you do anything.
Don't look now, but the Arizona Diamondbacks are fucking good.
Yeah, I know. That's a shocker. Let me ask you a question before we take our break for the NBA. Who's your biggest surprise to this point? Baseball. Who's the biggest team? What's the biggest surprise so far?
I mean, it's got to be them.
What about Baltimore?
No, because Baltimore was showing signs
they were
last year.
But they look almost elite.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they took a
I'm not saying you're wrong about Arizona because they came out of nowhere.
I think Arizona's a little more out of left field.
They are. I agree with that.
Not to say I thought Baltimore would be as good as they are.
Well, Baltimore's in the toughest division in baseball, too.
They were ascending last year, and it looks like they made the right choice not going all in last year.
Yeah, they were smart. They were.
Now, unlike the Mets, so I think here's what happened with Baltimore. Baltimore, young, building, realized
didn't panic.
We're almost there, but
give it more time. Just
give it a little more
Let
time.
It percolate.
And now
patience.
So they didn't
patience.
Because they sold a couple pieces for
some of the front end talent.
Exactly. They sold some of the old they gave away who's the guy they traded to the Astros? Lefty first baseman. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. What the fuck was it?
I think is he a cancer survivor? Italian last name maybe? What the hell's his name?
I can't remember. I know I can see his face. I hate when you can see someone's face but you can't remember
something
the
with an M? I don't know. Lefty.
Anyway, no, I remember the trade.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I remember the trade.
Got rid of him. I think they might have gotten rid of a bullpen piece, and everybody was like, oh, they're selling off pieces. How could they do this? But now look at them.
Yeah.
Not in first place, only because
Tampa
the Rays
Bay
had the most historic opening to a season
the Tampa Bay
ever.
Devil Rays
tied for it.
Are looking like the
They were 13-0 to start the season.
Who's that team that won 120 games? They're looking like
Mariners.
Yeah, looking like them.
Right? Oh no, Mariners won 110.
Yankees? No. Somebody won 120. Who was it? Sure, it wasn't the Mariners.
120 sounds too high. I'm not sure anybody.
Or 117, something like that. It was somewhere up there.
Mariners.
But anyway, the Rays started out like that, 13-0. They were drubbing everything in their path. It was
116.
116.
2001 Mariners.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. They jumped out like them, and but they've kept it up.
Still on a pretty good pace.
Still on a pretty good pace.
I think they're 19 over.
And they're doing this in the best division in baseball. This is the other thing.
But it's not the same. Because you don't play the 19 games.
No, but you're still playing them.
But it's
more than anybody else.
But it's helped them.
Okay.
It has.
Okay. I just think that they're
really good. But
at the end of the season, where they'll play them, they'll end up being less, but they're still playing them.
No doubt.
I mean, but
no doubt
they're doing this now. So,
but remember, the Rays jumped out against the Nats and then the Tigers.
Yeah,
all outside division.
But the thing is, look, I agree with him that Arizona is the more surprising one. What's surprising about Baltimore is they're doing that in the division they're in. That's the thing. I'm not saying I didn't think they'd be better. I didn't think they'd be this good. No fucking way.
I think the Mets being this down is a pretty big surprise.
That's a huge surprise. That's the other thing. That might be the biggest fucking surprise in baseball.
Yeah, but you could look at their
Padres maybe, because they're underachieving too.
Yeah, but they did the same thing last year.
I know, but they got in though.
They did get in,
and they won them when they got in.
Yeah,
So
they beat the Mets.
yeah. So I mean,
and then they beat the fucking Dodgers.
I'm saying they were
So the Mets collapse is pretty surprising. The Cardinals
That's another one.
are god awful.
They're terrible. I don't know if I've seen them this bad.
I've never seen them that bad
in my lifetime. I'm not kidding when I say that. I don't
They
know that I've seen them
quicker than any team in the fucking league.
If they have a bad year, it's 1 year. It's not a 3 or 4. And again, this may be a 1 year. They were in the play. I mean, who knows? But I haven't seen them this bad.
And I don't know why. It seems like the same team from last year that made the playoffs.
I don't know what's going on. I'm missing something there, but they're usually a lot better. So
yeah.
And San Fran's struggling. So again.
Yeah, they struggled last year too.
They did. They're starting to go a really
after 2 years ago winning like 106 games.
Yeah, they were amazing. They fell off the fucking cliff.
Yeah.
Literally. So anyway, that's going to do it for segment 1. We're going to come back segment 2. We're going to talk NBA Finals. Halftime, Miami 51. Denver 44 in the closeout game.
We're going to put that back on.
We're going to put that back on, so we'll be updating you through that. But, hey, smoke a little Betty, find a little Bev. We'll see you on the other side.